It all started with a seemingly simple answer. With a calm tone and a faint smile, Zhao Jinmai hinted that her life currently isn't entirely alone. The statement seemed lighthearted, perhaps even unintentional. But in the entertainment world, especially with such an active fan base, a single sentence can turn into a major puzzle, inviting thousands of speculations. It didn't take long for the interview clip to spread widely across social media platforms. Fans began replaying the video, slowing down her facial expressions, trying to read her body language, and even analyzing her intonation. Every tiny detail was considered a hidden clue. Then one name emerged that immediately dominated the discussion: Song Weilong. This young actor, also with immense popularity, suddenly became the center of attention. Many believed he was the mysterious figure Zhao Jinmai was referring to. This rumor wasn't something that just emerged out of nowhere. Over the past few years, fans have long noticed coincidences linking the two, from the same location at close times to moments that seem too synchronous to be mere coincidence. Some netizens even compiled a detailed timeline. They pointed out how Zhao Jinmai and Song Weilong were seen in the same city on the same day, despite never being photographed together. To some, this was mere coincidence. But to astute fans, these were puzzle pieces that began to form a bigger picture. Furthermore, interactions on social media also became the subject of in-depth analysis. Seemingly trivial likes, vague comments, and even posts dated closely together, all were used as indirect evidence that there might be something more than a professional relationship. However, amid all this speculation, one fact remained unchanged. There was no official confirmation. Both Zhao Jinmai and Song Weilong chose to remain silent. And this silence only fueled the public's curiosity. Zhao Jinmai himself is known for being very private. Since the beginning of his career, he has rarely discussed his personal life in public. His primary focus has always been on acting and his projects. This approach makes every small clue feel that much more significant. When someone who is usually private starts to reveal the slightest hint, it's natural for fans to immediately try to fill in the gaps with various theories. On the other hand, Song Weilong also has a similar image. He is known for his professionalism and rarely gets involved in controversies related to his personal life. The combination of these two equally private figures creates a mystery that is even more difficult to solve. Some fans choose to believe that if there is a relationship, both are entitled to keep it private. However, others feel that the clues are too numerous to simply ignore. Interestingly, this phenomenon demonstrates how modern fandom culture works. Information no longer comes solely from official statements, but also from the collective interpretation of fans who combine small details into a larger narrative. In Zhao Jinmai's case, a simple sentence has evolved into a much more complex story. From simply maybe close with someone, it has become an alleged relationship with one of the most popular actors today. But behind all of this, there's a bigger question. Do we really know the truth? Or is this simply a reflection of fans' desire to see their two favorite stars together? Because ultimately, without direct confirmation, all of this remains the realm of speculation. A story built from small pieces, which may or may not be true. What's clear is that Zhao Jinmai has once again captured the public's attention, not through a drama or a film, but through the mystery she creates, whether intentionally or not. And perhaps that's where her appeal lies. In a world filled with instant information, a little mystery can be invaluable. Is the mystery man really Song Weilong? Or is he someone completely unexpected? As of now, the answer remains hidden. One thing is for sure. As long as there's no official clarification, this rumor will continue to live, grow, and become the subject of endless discussion among fans. And perhaps that's precisely what makes this story so compelling to follow until the very end. As time passed, the discussion showed no signs of abating. On the contrary, new theories emerged. Some began comparing the two's work schedules, trying to find gaps where they might have had time to meet secretly. Some fans even dug up Zhao Jinmai's old interviews, looking for patterns in the way she spoke about relationships and love. They tried to connect past statements to the current situation, as if every word she ever uttered had a hidden meaning. Meanwhile, Song Weilong's name continued to surface in increasingly wild speculation. Some claimed that her facial expressions at certain public events seemed different, as if she were harboring an undisclosed secret. This phenomenon also caught the attention of the entertainment media. Many news outlets began to pick up on the topic, albeit cautiously. They called it a possibility, not a certainty, but still capitalized on the public's growing curiosity. Interestingly, quite a few fans were becoming skeptical. They questioned whether all this was simply a coincidence magnified by the collective imagination. In a digital world where information can be easily distorted, the line between fact and assumption is becoming increasingly blurred. However, amidst the debate, there is also a group of fans who choose to enjoy the mystery without pressing for answers. For them, this dynamic is part of the fan experience, full of puzzles, theories, and endless discussions. Meanwhile, Zhao Jinmai continues her activities as usual. She attends events, films, and appears professional without giving any additional clues. This attitude only makes many more convinced that if there is something, she is truly committed to keeping it secret. The same is true of Song Weilong. He has not reacted to the circulating rumors, as if choosing to let the speculation develop naturally, without intervention. Ultimately, this story is not just about the possibility of a relationship between two celebrities, but also about how the public shapes its own narrative. In the silence between these two figures, millions of voices try to fill the void, and perhaps that is where this story will live, at least until the truth is finally revealed, or remains a mystery forever. And precisely because there are no definitive answers, this curiosity has transformed into a kind of running story that is constantly updated daily. Every small movement, every new post, even every absence from an event can be directly linked to this already blown rumor. Beneath all the speculation, there's an often forgotten reality that these celebrities are just ordinary people who have boundaries when it comes to sharing their personal lives. Not everything needs to be explained to the public, even if the scrutiny on them is intense and relentless. But that's how the entertainment world works. When someone like Zhao Jinmai makes a small dent, no matter how small, the public will always try to expand it. Not out of a desire to be intrusive, but out of the curiosity that's become part of modern fan culture. This story has slowly evolved into more than just a dating rumor. It's become a symbol of how the relationship between celebrities and fans evolves, where information, assumptions, and expectations blend into one inextricable narrative. And until that day comes, when an official statement finally comes, or perhaps never comes at all, this story will continue to spin, living between speculation and reality, leaving everyone wondering, are we witnessing the beginning of a love story, or just an illusion created by shared imaginations?